Welcome to the Digital I Ching Library Companion playlist. This is Hexagram 9, the Taming Power of the Small. If you have questions on the application, language, or terms in the material, watch Introduction Part 1 and Part 2 of the series. When performing a digital draw on your I Ching app and you receive this hexagram, this entails a situation where there's a large amount of potential or energy, but it's being held back by smaller details or forces that prevent action from occurring, at least for now. This is a time for subtle, often gentle action, which makes the biggest impact rather than using bombastic or explosive expressions in order to get something done. Kind of like a thunderstorm that pauses before the downpour happens. The moment is an offering or a chance to steadily accumulate resources or energy and to refine plans and make small adjustments to minor details. This is about incremental influence that makes small strides in progress in order to make a big difference. It's not the loud one in the room that you should be paying attention to. It's always the quiet ones. Subtlety and the power of persuasion serves one best in this situation. Don't be a bull in a china shop. The judgment of Hexagram 9 states, the taming power of the small has success. Dense clouds, no rain from our western region. This hexagram is kind of like the waiting room moment before action finally occurs. The universe is recommending that you refine your plans and organize accordingly so that when the downburst of rain finally occurs from the dense clouds, your success is assured, and you use this seasonal pause to your advantage. Nothing that you do right now can really quicken events or make things happen. The Western region is a reference to the concept of completion and harvesting the results of your work. It hasn't happened yet, but it will if you use this time to your advantage. The image of Hexagram 9 states, the wind drives across heaven, the image of the taming power of the small. Thus the superior one refines the outward aspect of their nature. Particularly in social situations, this hexagram emphasizes civility in the midst of endeavors where you have the strength and the energy to do something, but perhaps lack the momentum to get things rolling. To refine the outward aspect of one's character implies the need to curate yourself to better acclimate to your surroundings or to improve aspects of your endeavor. This is a time of softening the edges or making things more presentable. Think of this hexagram like a dress rehearsal. You can't make big moves, so treat the small things like training or preparation until the details become flawless. A changing line 1. Return to the way. How could there be blame in this? Good fortune. The theme of this line in the hexagram is going back to the drawing board. This is hitting an obstacle in your path, and instead of trying harder, which is pointless, you stop, examine, and stand back for a time so you can examine your methods. To return to the way implies going back and looking at what works and what doesn't work. The season of life has changed in such a way that the only way to do things may be to do them in a tried and true fashion. Have restraint and contemplate your path before going forward again. There is no shame in changing course if the path ahead of you is not ready for you just yet. A changing line 2. They allow themselves to be drawn into returning. Good fortune. The theme of this line in the hexagram is that when the wind changes direction, you should change with it. In this situation, the environment around you is changing to such an extent that your current path isn't as viable as it once was. Circumstances are nudging you to stop and reassess your current trajectory. Should you listen and allow yourself to be drawn and go with the flow of the situation, you'll have good fortune. The universe is providing you an exit strategy or a guardrail to prevent you from proceeding on your endeavor for reasons you can't immediately detect, at least for right now. Resisting the changes that are occurring is futile. A sailor uses the wind to their advantage on the open sea. Use this change to your advantage. A changing line 3. The spokes burst out of the wagon wheels. The couple roll their eyes. This line is cautioning not to force anything. This is the result of forcing something to happen or to give way in a circumstance. You create greater troubles for yourself if you do so. The spokes bursting from the wagon wheels is an ancient equivalent of getting a flat tire in modern times. Moving forward when the timing wasn't right with your endeavor, your wagon, results in a less than favorable outcome. That frustration can turn inward or perhaps even against those closest to you. Resist the urge to lash out. A mechanical inconvenience isn't fixed by an emotional outburst. Fix the wheel, don't attack the driver. This could have been prevented if details had been managed properly or attended to. You only need to fix what can be fixed and wait for the right time to act. A changing line 4. If you are sincere, blood vanishes and fear gives way. No blame. This line entails that one should use the truth in a gentle way to disperse severity, anger, or fear. This is the line of the peacemaker. Tensions may be running high due to circumstances. The only way to quell intense frustration is through gentleness and speaking the truth where it's applicable. Blood, symbolized in the oracle, implies severity, conflict, injury, or the prospect of it, and intensity. Using hostility in order to stop hostility will only compound the problem. This is asking you to step forward and to set the proper tone in a circumstance. Change the frequency of the moment, and the interaction has room to shift. If emotions are running high, you need to utilize cold logic to clearly and definitively solve the issue at hand. A changing line 5. If you are sincere and loyally attached, you are rich in your neighbor. The subject of this line is being the reliable and loyal resource, the dependable asset. Lead by example. Refined character coupled with loyalty and steadfastness leads to recognition by those closest to you. This leads to mutual growth and cooperative accumulation. Investing in the welfare of those around you becomes a reciprocal force that benefits you by sharing your wealth of expertise, wisdom, etc. Everyone does better because their connection to you is strong. This is about pooling resources together or coming together to solve a problem while in the season of the taming power of the small. A changing line 6. This is due to the lasting effect of character. Perseverance brings the woman into danger. The moon is nearly full. If the superior one persists, misfortune comes. In this line in particular, this is where the tension breaks and movement and progress finally occurs. But don't forget when to tap the brakes. The situation that had been held back by the smaller forces has given way, and progress forward on the endeavor can continue. But there is a caution to this line. Although circumstances surrounding plans is going forward, don't charge ahead at full speed. The reason plans are moving again is due to the use of subtlety, gentle force, and gradual development. If you change that aspect, it all unravels. Knowing when to stop when you're ahead is crucial at this point. To continue on greedily in order to make more strides will eventually set you back. Accept the progress that you've made and be content with your gains. This is the quit while you're ahead line. If you have general questions, would like to contribute, or need help interpreting this material, or if you have a request on what you'd like to learn next, don't hesitate. Email me at oracleodysseyinquiry@gmail.com. Peace out, sauerkraut.